So, Jay, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. You just finished a presentation here in the Netherlands. Can you give me some key takeaways from the presentation?
I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is that, especially in an audience like this, which is very much about Facebook marketing, that the goal is not to be good at Facebook. The goal is to be good at business because of Facebook. That Facebook is part of your digital marketing strategy, which is part of your overall business strategy. You have to think about what is the hub of your business and how Facebook contributes to that hub.
Cool. And would you say the way brands work with Facebook has changed a lot during the years? I remember a lot of brands kind of start out spamming and just interrupting and stuff. Are you seeing a more grown-up market now, or do most brands have a long way to go still before they can really get this Facebook marketing thing to work?
I think there's two pieces to it. One, brands have gotten a little bit more mature about how they're handling Facebook and thinking about, look, maybe we should show some restraint in terms of what we actually put on Facebook. But I don't know that that's necessarily companies getting smarter as much as it is Facebook changing the algorithm so that things that don't really have value just don't get seen. I mean, Facebook has essentially created robots that makes good content succeed and ensures that bad content fails in many cases. And so companies have had to reconfigure what they share on Facebook, when they share on Facebook, and sort of for what purpose. And that was sort of the point of my topic today, is that you have to think about Facebook as something that's integrated with other forms of marketing, because it's not as easy as it once was, right? You can't just say, hey, let's just share this and a bunch of people will see it and yay! You know, it doesn't work like that anymore.
No. Would you say also that Facebook marketing now is more data and analytics driven than it was before?
Well, certainly you have to be more thoughtful about what you're posting and be really looking at your results and say, look, what can we, I mean, every time you put something on Facebook, you have two potential outcomes. One is you can reach people, of course, but the second is you can learn from that to make whatever you share next better. And that's exactly the piece that I think most companies are overlooking, and you nailed it, right? That it's about analyzing each individual piece of content to say, well, is Tuesday the best time to share? Is the afternoon the best time to share? Is a photo better than text? Is a photo of this better than that? How should we phrase this? I mean, there are definitely best practices, and people talk about those best practices all the time, but the real best practices you should be paying attention to is what works for your business. Because your business's best practices may not be the same as mine or somebody who sells automobiles or anything else, and so you've got to test and learn, and we finally have the data and the science around Facebook to be able to do that. I mean, Facebook Insights has gotten a lot better, and that helps quite a bit in that regard.
Yeah. You showed a brilliant example of automobile car salesman that creates a lot of video to do marketing. And I think that's kind of a new thing for businesses like that to think about them as content creators in that part. And we're seeing more and more companies need to produce a lot of content. Do you think most marketing departments are ready for that shift into creating that much content?
It's interesting. I was just yesterday in Belgium at a content marketing conference. So if you ask those people, yeah, they're all in, right? It sort of depends on what part of business and what part of marketeers you're talking to. I think everybody recognizes that content is one of the keys to effective communications now. And so everybody wants to do it. It's how to do it and in what format is where people get hung up. But I think the example today that I showed of that car salesman making videos, putting it on Facebook, then doing advertising on Facebook to make sure that people who've been to their website see those videos, it's very tied together, right? It's very integrated. You have three pieces, right? You have the video, you have Facebook retargeted advertising, all working together to contribute to them actually selling cars. One of those things alone, so if you just said, hey, we made videos, it wouldn't do anything. Or if you just took it and put it on Facebook, probably wouldn't do very much. So it's the integration of tactics now, whether it's content and social, search and social, which we talked about this morning, content and search. It's sort of a triangle now. That search, content, social all has to work together. People are starting to figure that out.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Good stuff.